east at 15. See how it materializes in the course. The tide is running out and starting to pick up right now. It's going to run right into that east wind out by Fort Zachary Taylor, and certainly out at what we call the wall, where our turn boat number 1, Malia, is positioned offshore. 4.48 mile course. The Mod Vs are running 10 laps and just a shade under 45 miles here today. 7 boats running in Mod V. This will be the first race of our final day of racing for the 42nd Annual Key West World Championships, presented by Performance Boat Center. We'd also like to thank Monster Energy Drink, the official drink of the APBA National Series and the Race World Offshore World Championships. Monster Energy's fan zone is right here at the mall on the outer mole, and you can head inside for a refreshing Monster Energy drink and check out all the cool experiences of Monster Energy Motorsports.
I think we're about to be seeing a lot of positional on here. You'll have a 1-2 battle. They'll be teamed up. You know, these guys will pair up out here, and there'll be some good racing in 3 and 4, and you know, stuff like that. So it's gonna be fun stuff.
Fast Boys has the inside lane. L-Band Boat Floater at the 3rd spot, B in the 5th spot. Those are your. It's going to be the first pin.
LSB needs help here. He needs to take one of these other boys with him, other than Sunprint or Boat Floaters, because even if he wins first, he needs Sunprint to fourth place, or else Sunprint will still take him in the national or the world champ. LSB needs a couple of boys to go with him, get Boat Floaters to come second, or somebody else to come second or third there. So he needs some help back of the pack there.
Well, I'm glad you can keep up with that.
Well, I got to meet some of the people who out on the wanted to say hello in the Havana Moon charter boat. We had orange smoke probably 2 minutes ago at this point, so we've got a minute to go, I would think, before they're going to form them up. What's the butterflies like out there, Billy?
You know, it's Sunday, and all the points are necessary here to win, and so that's what you're also thinking about. Is the turn one. Turn 1 is what's going on. That's what the butterflies are. What is it going to be like when we get there? And then once they pass turn 1 for the first time, then everything else is just going to kind of settle back down. You know, it's just getting to that first turn to see what the water is going to be and who comes around turn 2 in first place.
The jitters of safety crew, Sean Steiner's safety crew, J.R. Anderson, all the preparations they've made. They're in the Angel helicopter. They're spread out on med boats all across the course. Anticipating, what could happen, but hoping that they don't have to splash here today.
We'd also
like to thank Dr. Kelly Reed here locally and Dr. Mike Jansen, who is here to help support our safety crews. All right, the Cigarette Hawk Pace Boat, over 100 starts underneath them. They continue to add on. We see
North Myrtle Beach should be the closest to the Pace Boat. They're the outermost lane.
To the outside.
Unlike most courses that we go to, the Pace Boat is on the outside, so the boat with the biggest advantage is going to be the farthest away from the Pace Boat in terms of the shortest course, and that is Fast Boys.
Yeah, we see 151 Express. They are your reigning Mod V champions, Nick Impressia and Ian Morgan. They also race in the Factory 450R class. All right.
They've been a little off the pace so far, but
they're bringing them out early too out of that milling circle. That's a quick.
They could.
Inspector Leland Stanford will raise the flag. We're right on time, and we're green flag racing. LAV, let's go Fast Boys.
That's a good start. Looks like they're pretty lined up from where we're sitting.
Now they'll get to sort out before they get to the first turn, hopefully, as long as everyone holds their lane. They're instructed to hold their lane through the first turn.
LSB noses forward, but it looks like
El Bandito Sunprint's right there.
Yep, no
Fast
doubt.
Boys is right there.
Looks like Britt's coming over a little bit early. You need to get back over.
Overhead, we watch the boats as they head out to turn 1. This is approaching the area where Ladder Creek caught a wave on Friday, went airborne, and were knocked out of the race.
And
this
is this is the X-Insurance Helicam shot, so this is really going to help us sort things out as they head into that turn 1.
LSB's got great speed here, and will have a good advantage when they make that turn. They're going to have a little bit wider lane to go around as they started in number 5. You see the El Bandito Sunprint Hooters team in lane 2 by Fast Boys as they approach turn 1. Definitely the boat's not coming out of the water at all, and they're able to keep their attitude straight. So that's good news for them at this point. There goes Airborne right there. That's where you find it, folks. You're at the wall. LSB makes the turn. RevX Oil Speed Marine continuing to lead. here in the Mod V class. We're underway, and he's pulling out in front. This is what Britt Lilly needs, and Jay Woltman.
Yep, this is kind of what we saw the other day, if you remember, in the Supercat
A little bit
start.
of air there, but he's able to get it settled back down. Now we'll check and see what the water is like as they come into the 2-pin turn at number 2 and begin the northbound run back into the harbor.
Doesn't look too bad if they pass turn 1. It's a little bumpy, but it's not like Friday. That fishing boat going across out there will cause a little wave, too, as they're plowing along there. So that next lap, they may be catching some of that as well.
Yeah, back to your leader.
Looks like Fast Boys is still in second.
Closest to the pin, almost got off his line there.
Yeah. Now Sunprint has, El Bandito has moved in. They took the tight line around the turn.
There's
Fast
the
Boys having trouble keeping that boat flat. LSB with the lead as we come back in, lap number 1.
And look at the tabs on that, Billy. That boat likes to run flat.
He's got him up.
The LSB, he's just got him level right now.
Sunprint is having a little trouble keeping it on the straight line flat, too. So here, LSB in at lap number 1 in first. Fast Boys in second. Sunprint Hooters in third.
The boat floaters right there in fourth.
As we follow the Sunprint Hooters team back into Key West Harbor.
I'm curious to see this average lap time on these guys today and see what they got going on this. They're going to be in the high 80s on their average lap.
Did Latacrete come by?
No, I did not see Latacrete come by.
I'm looking out at. Oh, here they come. They're just off the pace a little bit.
Yeah, that stuff was pretty brutal the other day on that boat. So you take in that amount of water, it's a lot of work to get it going right.
All right, well, now we're back on the screen. We've got, this looks like a Fast Boys to the outside. Hooters, Stephen Furman is trying to drive a tighter line.
Fast Boys a lot there.
And right out of the picture, you can just see the bow of boat floater. So let's see if El Bandito Hooters can start making up some ground on the lead.
He doesn't necessarily need to. He can win in the World Championship from right where he's at right now.
Yeah, just off the X-Insurance Helicam shot is LSB continuing to lead and heading back out to turn number 1. There's your number 2 and 3 boat as the Sunprint El Bandito Tequila team has gotten by Fast Boys and moves into number 2. We're a lap out on 10 laps here today, 44.8 miles. A good shot of the 29 Gen 2 Extreme of Britt Lilly.
LSB and El Bandito just seem to be staying more level. And then, the Fast Boys is bouncing a little more. And the Killdalls are just, right now they're running a smart race. They know it's a long race. Experience of more than 30 years being down here. Steve Killdall's not going to get too nervous yet.
Good shot of boatfloater.com. Had a great chat with Stephen Kildahl. It's a family affair there. Dad's been racing over 3 decades. He's been with him 17 years in the cockpit of that boat.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen started as a navigator, I think, when he was 14 or 15. I think APBA says you have to be 16 to drive, correct? I can't remember because Cameron Turk's only 14.
Well, and Dominic Stancombe, too, they made an exception and changed the rule for that. For Class 7, I think you can actually get in the boat at 14.
There we saw Fast Boys almost came up and punched the bow into the water. We see maybe getting a little bit more effect of that outgoing tide now into our second lap. Fast Boys seemed like they were struggling with it a little bit when they came back into the harbor. We're looking at our number 2 boat here as we widen the screen, and now you have our leader, the LSB Revex Speed Marine team. That's Britt Lilly and Jay Woltman with the Tyler Crockett engine in the back.
Brand new engine they built for this race.
And so a little bit of bounce there, a little bit of a swell that they're popping into. Could be the wakes from the boats, a little air for the Sunprint Hooters El Bandito Tequila team.
And they're running Scorpion Power, built by Frank McComas.
So here comes your leader, continuing after lap number 2, Revex Oil Speed Marine LSB Power Boats. It's their day so far today.
Yeah, that's just stuck nice to the water. Great attitude.
And then Sunprint Hooters El Bandito Tequila in second. Fast Boys holding third. Boat Floater now fourth. Back to the X-Insurance Helicam following Sunprint El Bandito Tequila into the turn. 151 Express off screen comes in at 5th. North Myrtle Beach in 6th. Backdoor action. Here's Latacrete. They're running in 7th here today. 2 laps into 10.
Now they got two laps in. They're setting up some strategy in those boats now, thinking about how to make the next move on the turns and
where they're going to make,
inside, outside.
And you're seeing it right now. The Killdalls are trying to get inside of Fast Boys to get up to 3rd place. And we'll see if they can pull them coming out of the harbor turn here.
Putting on a burst of speed there.
Yeah, because Fast Boys, earlier in the turn, it looked like they just dug way in deep and their rooster tail went way up. So, but back out to the front, LSB is doing what they need to do. Let's just see if everyone else cooperates.
There you go, drag race coming out of the harbor right there.
Yeah. But that's interesting that boat floater was inside in the turn and now they're back outside.
7-second lead for LSB over the Sunprint Hooters El Bandito team as they head out.
Looks like they got the same setup on those boats. They come out there together. Same propulsion coming out of that turn in turn 3 in the harbor. They're staying at the same gap right now, so their props are probably pretty closely in size right there.
A little bit more chine walk with the Phantom and the Fast Boys. I don't know what generation Phantom is that. Do you, Billy?
I am not. He just built that boat 2 years ago, so it's one of the new ones.
So it's one of the newer ones.
Yeah, that's the one they built after they wrecked the other one at Sarasota.
Oh, that's right.
Phantom to the left of the screen and the 2004 Generation 1 Extreme hull.
Boat floater with innovation power out of, so that's a full Sarasota package there.
That's one of the original Mark Spates hulls. So we'll be interested to see how the leaders are doing between 1 and 2 here.
Now let's keep an eye on Fast Boys a little bit here because this is where they stood it up before.
They've had a lot of trouble here. Fast Boys rocking side to side a bit here, trying to keep that bow down.
But they've got it trimmed off better than they did in the last.
Yeah, it looks much better than the first lap.
Yeah, but the boats are bouncing more here. I think as the race goes on, you're going to see this chop increase.
Man, it can increase quickly too. That's the crazy part.
Exactly.
Halfway through the race, it could be a whole different race out there between 1 and 2.
As Fast Boys comes around at turn number 2 by Fort Zachary Taylor, we're going to now catch our leader. That's LSB there.
And there's
your leader. Let's get, if we can,
Bandito.
get back on the leaders, guys, there. Thank you very much. And LSB cruising back in on lap number 3.
And it doesn't, to the people listening or watching, it doesn't sound like much going from 7 to 10 laps, but what is the difference?
That's a big stretch. There's a lot of stress on the equipment this week. Here's
LSB continuing to lead, battle for second, averaging 77 miles an hour a lap right now.
And in this water today, they're running these things as hard as they can. Those throttles are all the way to the dash today.
Sunprint El Bandito pulled in second, Fast Boys third, Boat Floater fourth.
Fast Boys pulled out a little bit on them now.
People ask us often, what's worse on your boat, the rough water or the smooth water? And I said, well, it's pretty much the same. It's just 2 different deals.
I mean, at this point, Boat Floaters is on the podium. If you've got 10 laps to get, though, you got to complete it to get the podium at this point. If you get anything higher than 3rd place, they've got to chase down right now the Hurricane LSB. So, at this point, what is the purpose? You got to make sure you get through before you break down. And maybe at the last couple laps, you'll see the Boat Floaters make a big move, same with the Sunprint.
Latacrete chasing North Myrtle Beach, who just passed through. They were in 6th. Latacrete running in 7th. All 7 boats continue to run here.
Wow, is LSB starting to stretch it out? Because they know we talked about the time element before.
Well, they've got laps to make up. They're 3 laps down from that first day.
Yep.
So, if you ran into a tiebreaker situation, Joey, that's exactly right. Leads 13.5 seconds over the Sunprint Hooters team.
It's like the equivalent to the college football playoff. Why do they run up the score? Well, they might need those points later in the year.
They got that boat running. They set it up right for the beginning of this race, and let's see if that weather holds for them for the next 25 minutes. Fast Boys running back in 3rd place. We follow them back out from the X Insurance Helicam. towards turn number 1 into the roughest part of the course. This is right where Latticrete started having some trouble last week, where LSB is cruising through.
Yep.
Now positioning for the turn. And I would say every lap we watch, let's see how much the wind is picking up out there. It's forecast to get up to gusting to 18 today. Looks like Lilly is propped right. He's got his weight set just perfect for the start of this race.
Now, is that a narrower hull than the Phantoms? Do you know, Billy?
I believe so, yes. Those are pretty narrow boats.
Yeah, and the thing is you have that narrow hull, you'll cut through it just a little bit better than a wider boat.
It's like
that's more affected by the breeze.
Yeah. And those things run flat. I mean, you don't ever see Britt all over the course. His boat is traditionally pretty flat running. You know, he'll hit a hole every once in a while. He's about to hit this one right here in just a second when he comes back in right there. And he'll get a few times up bounce, but it flattens back out pretty good.
Yeah.
There it is up there.
Yeah, you start catching that swell too. The tide's pushing the water. You're getting the effects of the wakes hitting the seawall here. And starts pushing out the harbor with that tide running strong. Back into the Monster Energy fan zone in front of all of the happy fans here at the Outer Mole Truman Annex. Here is your leader, LSB Marine. This is RevX Speed Marine.
Yep.
Jay Waltman and Britt Lilly continuing to lead after lap number 4 of 10.
Yeah, they
shade up 78.5 miles an hour.
Nice.
And
you know, these guys are practicing. You go over to the wall over there by the ramp on practice days, and there's weight bags laying all over the place.
Some Hooters.
And a simple 5-pound movement in these boats, forward or backwards or right to left, is a massive amount of change for the way the boat rides in the water.
El Bandito Tequila team running in second. Now Fast Boys in third. And BoatFloater.com holding on to fourth. Back on top to watch Steve Miklos and Stephen Furman past the Harbor Hotels into that very sharp turn in Key West Harbor.
I think at this point, to change positions in this race, the way they're spread out right now, it's a matter of attrition, really.
Yeah.
You know, these guys aren't going to make mistakes. None of these drivers or throttle men make mistakes very often in these boats, and so it's just, can the equipment hold up for 10 laps and maintain their position they're in?
We're approaching the halfway point of this race with LSB a commanding lead so far. Was right at 13.5 seconds when we last checked.
So now they're about midway, Eric, and so you asked me a couple times the other day, what are you thinking in the boat right now? Right now I'm thinking exactly the same thing I was the other day. Don't let anybody pass us.
Right.
You know, just stay where we are, because they're pretty spread out. They're 2 or 3, 4 seconds apart right now, and it's going to take a lot. Now, Boat Floater, that's 151 Express coming out of the harbor turn now.
Right.
And in front of them, that Boat Floater and that Fast Boys race is going to be a close one. And they're losing fuel. They're losing weight. Things can change.
Yep.
But that 1, 2, and 3 position, they're pretty spread out there. Boat Floater could absolutely catch up to Fast Boys if Fast Boys isn't careful.
Yeah, the El Bandito Sunprint team, they're 14 seconds, lost about 3/4 of a second on the last lap to your leader, the RevX Oil Speed Marine LSB Powerboats team.
But I don't think they could have a better attitude in that boat right now as far as the way it's flying.
All of them look really good, too. The first lap was a little bit crazy, but like I said, no one knew what to expect. And then, you know, they made adjustments coming back out for that second lap. And then you saw the boat start to calm down. And you just get better every time you turn the turn out there. And you start learning what the boat's going to do for today.
Again, the expected winds to be up to 17, 18 as the day progresses. The tide should run till about 2:30.
Good, it'll be gone when I race at 3:30.
That's your lucky draw.
It must be. I'll take the wind over the tide any day.
We're not feeling the wind in here much.
No, you're in the we're on the other side of the island. All right, as we watch BoatFloater.com, it definitely looks like it's getting a little more choppy out there right now.
Yeah, there was also another fishing boat passed by too. Might have thrown some stuff in there from the side when they went across.
We'll widen out and catch the leaders as they come around.
There's your
start heading northbound.
There's your interval between third and fourth that you can see on the screen. So
those waves are the ones that will get you most of the time, is because you're coming around it 3 or 4 times and you expect the same thing, and then all of a sudden a side wave comes in from another boat.
We saw LSB.
Yep, we're back with the leaders now.
Yep. And here they come. This will be the halfway point of the race.
And the combined name, the RevX Speed Marine, is because Jay Waltman is building his own Extreme at Speed Marine.
Yep.
And here we go. Your leader, Britt Lilly, Jay Woltman. 5 laps in. Continuing to average 77.8 miles an hour.
I was talking to Jay the other morning in the meeting about that, and he said that, his boat's out of the mold, it's ready to go, and they're working on it, but they all kind of threw all hands on deck in to help out LSB and get them here this year, too.
Stephen Furman, Steve Miklos in the Sunprint El Bandito, second. 5 laps to go. Fast Boys holding third.
Yep. Ken Bollinger and Forrest Riddle having a good run.
Boatfloater.com.
Right on his tail.
Zooming in front of the fans at the X Insurance Hospitality VIP area.
What did you get on speed on that lap there, Todd?
77.8 miles an hour.
Pretty consistent.
Yep.
That's a good speed for a boat that tops out in the mid-90s.
Everybody holding position here on lap number 5. Again, at last count, every boat still out and running. We have one scratch, which was the Challenger Japan.
Yeah, they broke their motor in that boat on Friday. We're glad they're back. They haven't been back in the U.S. since 2019, so this is their first time to come back and race with us.
Yep. But now if you're boat floater, are you like, okay, if we're going to try to make up something, do we need to get going?
They're sitting in third. In order to come any higher and move up the podium, they need to make a move all the way in front of the Sunprint.
Oh, okay.
And they climb into second.
Because they're running fourth.
Right, but in the podium over for the World Championship.
Oh, they're third.
They're
Okay.
sitting third, and again, to get to second in the podium, they have to pass Sunprint right now.
Look at the extreme run.
Yes, this is
keeping it nice and level. They just extended their lead 2.5 seconds over the Sunprint El Bandito team.
So yeah, why boat floaters want to get a podium for the day? They're still in the podium for the World Championship right now.
Yeah, nice. And he's pulling out all the tricks in there. Steve, he's got more experience than anybody in the water right now, I think.
Right, be smart at this point. Is it worth chasing down fast boys right now who want the podium for the day and have something to go home with themselves, or get a World Championship podium? And that's what you've got to put that in your mind and race that through your mind. What's more important?
Immediately following this race, the UIM Class 1 teams will race in their big 45, 47, 48-foot catamarans with the Mercury QC4V 1100 horsepower turbocharged engines, the official engine of Class 1. 222 Offshore in a commanding lead. They'll also race with the VX V-bottoms and the single extreme boat. JBS. Here's your leader.
But if you're Britt Lilly, this is no better way to sell a boat.
Yeah, that's right. And he's selling plenty of them, too.
He wants to start building his performance line.
His open cockpit pleasure boats.
Yes, exactly. Which he's going to start moving on to next after his next 3 boats are already out and will race next year.
I'd be curious to see if someone builds an open cockpit bracket 500 Extreme.
Wow, that'd be something, wouldn't it?
You would think it would be very fast.
All right, into the Monster Energy fan zone is LSB, RevX Oil Speed Marine. 4 laps to go. Ticked up just a shade, 78 miles an hour on that lap.
Yeah, he was running on the buoys out there, nice and tight on those things, and that's going to help him out and stay where they're at in the lead, too.
He had a great start. I mean, that's really where this lead materialized. The Sunprint El Bandito Tequila running in second. Fast Boys continues in third.
Yep.
From lane 5, he was able to get out far enough to where he could make that turn in his lane and then get out in front of everybody and extend his lead from that point.
Yeah, the race course is, what, 4.8 miles, you said?
4.48.
4.48 miles, and so that's from pin to pin all the way around. If you get wide of that, you can make it a 6-mile course real easy.
151 Express, your defending world champion. Looks like they're going to have to give that belt up this year.
Yep.
They can be on the podium still. They'll also race in factory 450R stock class later on today.
And they also have a new Extreme for next year.
That's right. It was ready to race here, but because of the rules, I guess they couldn't bring it, and they had to continue to race their Phantom. But they will be in an Extreme next year. North Myrtle Beach Resort also has an Extreme out from Britt Lilly's shop in Arnold, Maryland, that will be racing next year in Mod V. They're holding on to 6th place.
whole bunch of new boats coming next year, and it'd be nice to see these other boats get picked up by someone else, and then all of a sudden the class goes from 6, 7, 8 to 10 or 12 boats real quick.
But do you think someone would take, like, say, the North Myrtle Beach boat and go race bracket?
No, why not? Why not just race this class here with it? Race Mod V. I don't think they have the new motor in this boat right now. They're saving it for their new boat.
Yeah.
And so they just got the same engine they've been running in there, and getting their laps and running races. And the next year they're going to come out with a whole new package. And someone could very easily pick up that boat and
Yep.
put the motor in there and just have a successful year with it. That one, LSB's boat, the 151 Express boat.
You have the Twisted V that no
That's
one
right.
bought.
It's still there. Yep.
The early Extreme.
Latticrete pulling up the rear, 7th overall. All 7 boats continue to run on the same lap, and here is your overall leader one more time. On top from the X Insurance Helicam, heading into turn number 2, down into the harbor.
That Latticrete boat, they took a hard spill the other day. I'm surprised he didn't go over in that boat when they took that. Did you see the pictures online from that thing?
Oh dear,
It was straight up.
Straight up and then straight down. You could barely see the boat when it went under.
Keeping it nice and flat, nice and level. He's got the perfect attitude as he comes through. Catch some little swells here.
And
Hole that will always be there for you in front of Fort Zachary Taylor behind the protection of the jetty there.
And Britt's pulling double duty today, but, I mean, how much intelligence is he really bringing into a race that's going to be run, 2:30?
Yeah, 2:30. That's right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't even know that he's going to go in to be able to say we need to do this for Supercat, because
It's gonna
so
change.
much can change between now and then.
Yeah, it's going to change a lot. And he's doing a really good job in that Dirty Money Supercat boat, too.
Continuing.
Britt's turned into a utility player in these boat races.
I know,
He's
yeah.
in Class 1, he's in Supercat, he's in these.
Well, Bill Pyburn told me that Britt is a calming influence in the boat and called him a straight-up wheelman.
Yeah.
And drivers are becoming more and more critical in offshore. Years ago, it was, just hold the wheel straight.
Right. Yeah, with all these turns, it really takes both of them. You have to have a good team in that boat. And if you've got guys in there that just don't job together, it just makes it really hard to race.
Sunprint Hooters, El Bandito Tequila in second. Here's Fast Boys in third. Sunprint Hooters falling off another 7 seconds behind LSB. Now 24 seconds back. From 14 to 17, now 7 seconds more, 24 seconds off the pace.
And here's Boat Floater. Now, Joey, where is Fast Boys in the big picture?
Sitting fourth, 30
Okay.
points back of boat floaters right now.
Okay, so Boat Floaters.
Is well in where they need to be right now to be on the podium and remain there.
151 Express holding the 5th spot. 3 laps to go.
Yep.
Setup selection played a big part in what's going on out there right now today with these guys. Everyone was expecting some big water out there, and I think some too small instead of putting those.
Yep. And I don't want her being off by a pitch or two.
Oh, absolutely. Fortunately for Chad and I in the fountain, we only have 2 prop selections. We just run 30s and 31s and 32. That's it,
Yeah,
Someone else did the research for us before we bought the boat. So
Now, how about the Levy?
Levy Craft, we run 1 prop on that boat too. It's the one that keeps it the calmest. It's a 4-blade prop actually. Keeps the back of the boat down in the water.
Yep.
It bow lifts instead of bow steers. The 5 blades tend to lift the rear and bow
Right.
steers real bad. So we run a 4-blade 25 pitch herring on that thing, and it seems to do real well with that.
And this is the Latticrete Relentless boat. Chris Uzzolina is working on a.
Whoa.
getting a little squirrely there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's working on an Extreme V for a big skater.
He is. He bought that from the Lucas from Nigel Hook.
Yep.
And I think they're bringing it out next year, first of the year. They've been doing a ton of work on that boat.
Hey, folks, I want to remind you that the award ceremony tonight here at the races at the Coffee Butler Amphitheater. And for everyone out there following, if you want to see your friends, family on stage, it will be live streamed at the Race World Offshore Facebook page, 6 p.m. this evening. So join us here locally in Key West for the World Championships presented by Race World Offshore, and as well globally at the Race World Offshore Facebook page brought to you by Maximum Inflation. LSB, you see it.
They're getting bigger.
Yeah,
It's picking up a little.
It's picking up a little. But if you were anticipating it to be what it was on Friday, you just might be off a bit. Unless we've only got 2 laps after this one left today.
I don't see him spilling any water, so it's not common. That's for sure.
He took any in, yeah.
Here comes LSP back into the Monster Energy fan zone.
And Britt's boat on that LSP that Britt's in, he doesn't have his ballast, doesn't shoot out the sides of his boat.
No.
If you look on his port side trim tab, there's a hose that comes off.
Yeah.
And that's where his ballast water comes out.
Oh, but I
real
thought that's
sneaky.
I thought that's how they brought it in.
No, the underneath the boat brings it in and that pushes it out.
Oh, okay.
And now,
Yeah, see now
Sunprint Hooters.
Sunprint's is blowing out
Miklos
water
is
right now.
blowing out water. He's trying to get rid of ballast.
Yeah, he wants to make a really quick turn down here in the harbor where it's nice and smooth.
And
so
the same with Fast Boys. You can see them blowing off ballast now, too.
Unload that water in that flat turn so you don't ballast steer around with it.
Yep.
to all our fans here watching the races, race control wanting spectators to limit radio chatter on VHF 78-68. It's critical to not have chatter on 78-68 for the safety and the operation of our race here today. Boat floater through, so RevX Oil, Speed Marine, Sunprint Hooters, El Bandito second, Fast Boys in third, Boat Floater fourth, and we have 2 laps left to go.
151 Express still running in fifth, and a 32 Phantom, the biggest boat in the fleet.
Well, they got in position today and just stayed there, didn't they?
Yep. We do have to give a shout out to Nick for probably having the coolest dog in the pits.
Yeah.
A little black French bulldog named Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Smalls.
Dogs all the way around. Dogs on top of the Coco's Monkey boat.
Yep.
You've seen those shirts in the
Hanks
pits?
Marine.
Yep, no doubt.
Harpoon Harry's has a couple black labs over there with them.
Yep. And here's North Myrtle Beach RV. I think that's one of the older Phantoms, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
Back on top, the X-Insurance Helicam, taking a quick shot of LSB, RevX Oil, Speed Marine, Britt Lilly, and Jay Woltman. Big day for them as we watch Ladder Creek now once again. Coming around by Fort Zachary Taylor, another great place to watch the race. They were lined up all the way into the entrance of this place trying to get into Fort Zach this morning.
And the great thing about the name of this boat, relentless, is what you have to be in this sport.
Right.
Even if you're not running well, you keep running because you just never know. Attrition could still come, and we got 2 laps.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like with Britt the other day. Would he break a drive down there? Turn 3, his drive went out on him.
And at this point, that's about all the hope that Sunprint Hooters has. They're about 28 seconds behind in this race as we get ready to head in on the white flag for the last lap of the race when you see LSB come back into the Monster Energy fan zone here in Key West Harbor.
Here's the leader starting the longest 9 miles of his life right now.
Yeah.
Coming out of right into the harbor, right in front of the sealine. And the number of people lining this seawall by the end of the day is going to be nuts.
Yeah, like Todd said, that line of cars, I actually went to get a drink this morning, and I was a Monster Energy drink, actually, from the store down there, and the cars were actually past the Green Parrot. They were 3 blocks deep trying to get into that park. It was wild.
Yeah, so maybe throw your bike in the back of your truck and park somewhere off on the island and ride on in.
Yeah.
It's not easy to get in here. Running second today.
And they are offering shuttle services, too, from
true.
remote parking lots. So that would probably be the best way to get in.
Yeah, and, you know, we got the Key West Police Department and the Sheriff's Department, as a Monroe County Sheriff's, they're doing a great job helping the traffic over there. They've been fantastic all week. We appreciate those guys helping us out. And ladies.
Fast Boys running hard all day.
Having a good run.
They sure are.
The
struggle with a flyer on the first lap, and Sunprint Hooters moved past them. This is where we stayed all day.
The Annapolis, New Jersey connection there.
A credit to all these teams. I mean, we've been running this position since the beginning of the race. that came through the first time. Boatfloater.com in fourth. So LSB, Joey, in control of his own destiny to win the World Championship here in Key West.
No,
in
he's
Mod
not.
B. What does he need?
Sunprint is. Sunprint's the man that's in control right now.
He had to keep them.
He had to keep Sunprint actually
one boat away.
2 boats away. Sunprint needed to finish 4th in this one for him to pull it off. So, yeah, it's Sunprint that's in control.
Sunprint looking at the stern all day of LSB RevX Oil Speed Marine, knowing that that's where he needed to stay to win the World Championship. I guess that makes your strategy just a little different. World Championship, that's the way it is a lot of the time.
Joey, how long has it been since your score sheet across for these laps has looked the same numbers straight across on every single line?
It's been pretty steady right now. I think a lot of it comes down to, again, boat floaters realized where they had to be and what they had to do to get up, any higher than third. So why push it? Make sure you get the attrition, get all the way through, finish the 10 laps, and make sure you're still on the podium. Again, LSB, despite getting 2 checkered flags in this week, that a 5th place finish there is going to really make things tough.
LSB going around and lapping Latacree as he heads in for the final stretch here to win today. What a great race for Jay Woltman and Britt Lilly. But it won't be enough. The only thing he can hope for is the Gremlins to bite Steve Miklos and Stephen Furman. As they turn to Fort Zachary Taylor for the last time into the Monster Energy fan zone in front of all of the fans at the Truman Annex Outer Mole area, and then down by the Harbor Hotels. A little air as he catches a swell, a little hole, and gets her steady back down now, and will head in to take the checker flag here today. Led all the way in the 29 Extreme from Arnold, Maryland, with the Tyler Crockett engine in Mod V.
The Britt Lilly paint job.
Custom all the way. Can't beat it.
I love the way he just implemented the number right into that. It's not the number 66.
And he'll finish
number
today.
1 today.
Again,
second in the world title hunt.
78-mile-an-hour lap. He kept it right at the 77, 78-mile-an-hour mark all day long.
Looked to be a good, clean start today, too. I wouldn't project any penalties for that. And then, just have to go back for tech inspection and pass all that to make it an official win.
And here comes your world champion in Mod V. This is all unofficial. A second-place finish is all they needed today. So more than they needed.
A wily veteran
Sunprint
pair
El
there.
Bandito Tequila. 29 Extreme with Scorpion engines. Furman and Miklos, your world champion in Mod V for the 42nd Annual Key West World Championships, presented by Performance Boat Center.
Maybe he'll give Britt a little shot of El Bandito for.
El Bandito all around.
But look at Fast Boys coming in third.
Great race for them today.
But if Boat Floater comes across fourth, they will be the third team on the podium.
So it's a strategic race, Joey, by both the Sunprint and Boat Floaters.
I do believe that's what it was. They knew where they were at and how it had to count in.
And here comes BoatFloater.com, Steve and Stephen Kildall. They'll finish up third on the podium tonight for the World Championships. LSB RevX Speed Marine will take second. That's right where the National Championship hunt finished for the APBA National Series. And 151 Express hands over the belt, your reigning world champions.
Yep.
Will now pass the belt to Steve Miklos and Stephen Furman in Sunprint Hooters El Bandito Tequila.
But great learning experience for a couple of 23-year-olds.
As we watch the remaining boats come through.
Here's North Myrtle Beach RV.
Let's talk about that X-Insurance helicopter for a minute. That Rick Lindsay's a heck of a pilot, man.
No doubt.
That guy's on top of the boats. When we're in the boat and he flies so close, you can feel the blades inside the boat, just that noise of the helicopter. It's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, I mean, pretty amazing, their commitment to the sport. I mean, not only flying the chopper, and then his son Parker Lindsay shooting for the live stream, shooting pictures put out there to the world, but also sponsoring boats, not just the Class 1 X Insurance team, but up and down the classes.
That's right.
Class 700, Class 500. They're also putting sponsorship into a Super Cat boat here in Key West. It's an impressive signature on what they do. And they provide customized insurance solutions nationwide. And they get involved not only at the grassroots level, but at the highest level in the Class 1 UIM World Series, sponsoring teams here in powerboat racing.
And speaking of guys up in the helicopters for 40 years, Mr. Girardi at Freeze Frame Video.
Yeah, 42 years he's been here in Key West.
And I remember when I was editor of Powerboat, there'd be 100 boats here, and Al Copeland, Tom Gentry, they'd have their own helicopters. We'd have a helicopter. There'd be 10 or 11 helicopters in the air. And we had the best photographer, I'm going to brag, of the late Tom Newby, who the photos he produced for Powerboat Magazine were and just crazy. They were so good. And he just gets so imaginative with the angles.
Oh, Girardi's been shooting photos here, and I don't even know what a boat was. I was 5 years old. You know, that's a long time ago.
But I remember we'd be chasing the super boats. There's Britt with a checkered flag. The Lilly family's had a few of these down here through the decades.
He's got another race in front of him. He will jump alongside Billy Pyburn in Dirty Money, and boy, they're right in the chase in Super Cat class.
Looked real good this week.
They have. An impressive boat that they started the season with, and were in the chase, but broke that boat in half in
Michigan
City. And a beautiful shot here. Now he joins Britt Lilly, who will be alongside him in that 388 skater for the Super Cat race later today.
Yep.
Britt Lilly, Jay Woltman, your winner today. But in the overall world championship, over 3 days of points, they will finish second in RevX Oil Speed Marine LSB powerboats. Coming up next, race number 2, our Class 1 teams will get out and run alongside the VX and...
Oh, in Class 1, they don't draw.
They don't.
So they are running on the finish from the previous race.
That's correct.
So it'll be 222 Offshore Australia in lane 1.
That's right.
This is going to be a quick start to this race.
I'm trying to recall the rest of the finishing order from the other day, we'll be able to see it.
We'll take a quick break from the Porte Performance Broadcast Center. Thanks for joining us at the Race World Offshore live stream. Brought to you by Maximum Inflation. We'll have that Class 1 and VX Extreme race coming up for you when we come back.
Performance, that's what drives us. When Scott Porte set out to build the most technologically advanced hydraulic transom lift system, he pulled out all the stops. The Porte R-Series high-performance hydraulic transom bracket is the world's most advanced outboard transom bracket. After Scott won another world championship, the race governing body declared the Porte R-Series an unfair advantage. The Porte R-Series cockpit-controlled hydraulic transom bracket has the same DNA as our industrial commercial series. Maximum horsepower 750 per engine. Maximum weight capacity 900 pounds per engine. Maximum number of engines unlimited. Besides numerous national, world, and sanctioning body championships, the Porte R-Series just won Top Gun status by setting the open cockpit outboard powered catamaran class at the 2022 Lake of the Ozarks Shootout. The unfair advantage keeps on winning everywhere it goes. Let us design one for you. Visit us online at porteproducts.com.
There's a lot of boat rental places in town, but none of them compare to the brand new Beach Weekend. With over 50 brand new boats at the best rate around, Beach Weekend promises to deliver a boating experience like never before. Been thinking about buying a boat? Don't. Just join the Beach Weekend Boat Club. For a small monthly fee, you'll never have to worry about the hassle of owning one. You'll just get to experience all the fun. Membership is limited, so visit beachweekendkeywest.com for more info.
Catch all the action of the powerboat races at El Mason de Pepe's in Mallory Square. Quench your thirst with one of their homemade mojito specials. Grab a Cuban mix